once upon a time, in a house not so far away, there lived a little boy named Max. Max had a favorite wolf costume, and when he wore it, he became the bravest, wildest creature of all. He'd chase the dog around the living room, build magnificent forts out of pillows and blankets, and cause all sorts of playful, wonderful mischief. But one night, Max's wildness went a little too far. He shouted at his mother, and feeling frustrated, she called him a wild thing. Max, feeling wild indeed, shouted right back, "I'll eat you up." So Max was sent to his room. There would be no dinner for him tonight, no bedtime hugs, just the quiet of his room and the silence of his own thoughts. But as Max sat there, feeling a little bit cross and a little bit sad, something truly magical began to happen. From the floorboards, trees started to sprout, their branches reaching for the ceiling. Vines twisted around his bedposts like friendly snakes. The air grew damp and smelled of earth and leaves. Soon, his whole room had transformed into a lush, moonlit forest. And then, bobbing gently on a newly formed stream, a little boat appeared just for him. Painted on its side, in neat, careful letters, was his name. Max, without a second thought, he climbed inside. He sailed away across a vast sparkling ocean, through the darkest nights and the brightest days, for weeks and even over a year. All the way to a very special place, the island where the wild things are. When Max finally arrived, the wild things came to greet him. They were magnificent, furry monsters with glowing yellow eyes, long, sharp claws, and they let out the most terrible roars you have ever heard. They roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes, trying their very best to be scary. But Max wasn't afraid, not one bit. He stood tall, stared into their big yellow eyes, and with a voice as calm as could be, he said, "Be still." And just like that, the magic worked. The wild things were so impressed by this fearless little boy that they bowed down to him and made him the king of all wild things. "Let the wild rumpus start," cried King Max, and oh, what a rumpus it was. They danced under the stars. They jumped through the trees, they swung from the vines, and they howled at the moon. The whole island shook with their laughter and their joyful, wild celebration. But after a while, as the moon climbed higher in the sky, the wild rumpus grew quiet. Max the king suddenly felt a pang of loneliness. He missed his own room, he missed his home, but most of all, he missed someone who loved him best of all. So, with a heavy heart, Max said goodbye to the wild things. They were so sad to see him go. "Oh, please don't go," they cried. "We'll eat you up, we love you so." But Max just smiled a gentle smile, climbed back into his little boat, and waved goodbye as he sailed away. He sailed back across the ocean through night and day, leaving the land of the wild things behind. He sailed right back into his very own room, where the trees and vines slowly faded away until everything was just as it had been before. And there, waiting for him on his little table, was his dinner, and it was still warm, because even when we feel our wildest or our most mischievous, there's always love waiting for us, right where we belong. Good night, little dreamer. Sleep well, and may your imagination take you on the most wonderful adventures.